Hi Stampers, Meg from LovenStamps and welcome to Maker Mornings with Meg. So if you saw that 30-second video earlier, this is my second shot. Facebook's a little weird sometimes. So anyway, today we are on this Friday edition going to talk about the Cute Halloween stamp set, which is absolutely darling. And we are going to talk about a treat box because on our video the other day, we talked about the Tombstone treat boxes and how cute they are. And somebody was like, oh my gosh, cute, that's so funny. And I'm not sure what's going on with Facebook today. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. So either people are tuning in and I'm just not getting notifications, or Facebook is just being stinky. So, okay, I'm getting notifications. So anyway, sorry. So leave me a comment if you're here because for some reason things seem a little wonky this morning. So, all right. So like I said, we're going to use these Tombstone treat boxes. I have a number of tips to share with you about them because we are, I want to share my mistakes so that you don't make the same one. We're gonna do this project. We're going to go over some tips with the Halloween punch that will help you save your Cute Halloween Designer Series paper. This stuff is amazing and you don't wanna waste any of it. So let's see, we're going to use all the embellishments, pretty much everything from the Cute Halloween suite. So good times here all around. Morning, Kim. Hey, Paula, everybody who's here. And welcome to, if you're watching this video from Alicia's Stampin' Up! Party, then I'm glad you guys are here too. So, all right, I think we're just gonna go ahead and jump in with this project. And I will give you some of these tips. So my first mistake was not knowing that there were two different sizes of boxes in this package. So hello, there are two different sizes of boxes in this package, okay? That will be helpful tip number one. All right, we're gonna flip you guys down here. Now, when it comes to Halloween projects, there's kind of a choice, right? You can choose spooky or you can choose cute. And we're gonna go with cute today, but there are some good spooky sets choices in the catalog. So the ones that I would choose for spooky would be this one. And actually I was really, wanted one of these dies this morning, one of these little spiderweb dies, but my order hasn't come that has this in it. So you'll just have to wait for that later. And ironically, that one's called Frightfully Cute. So I guess it's technically still cute, but anyway. All right, so here's what you do. Get your boxes, tap them down on the side, and notice that there are two different sizes here, okay? The small ones and the big ones. Now, you can decide which you want to be your top and your bottom. I'm gonna make the big one the top, and I will tell you why. If I forget, remind me. Okay, now these go together really easily. All you have to do is fold on the score lines. They have their own adhesive on them, so that makes it go together smoothly. Hey, Sue. If you guys are watching this morning, leave me comments because I feel like we're a little bit like kind of off the radar here for some reason. Okay, so then after you do that, you're gonna go ahead and just fold this over. You're gonna take that sticky back off and you're gonna attach this. Now, don't do what I did. Here's mistake number two. Mistake number one was not knowing that there are two different size boxes in here. One's meant to be tops and one's meant to be bottoms. Number two is assembling this because it's so frightfully cute before you punch your window hole, okay? So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and remember. Now, you can punch the window hole in this with a punch if you have one that you can reach in far enough, but a die is great for this. You're just gonna have to run it back and through a whole bunch of times because there is a lot of depth to this. These are really sturdy boxes. So the one that they used in the catalog, I think, is actually this one here from the Christmas season stamp set. That one, it's got a sticker on it because I got this one for free from Stampin' Up! From the Hawaii trip. And it was this die right here. So the one that's coordinated with this is the Seasonal Labels Dies, which is a great one to get if you don't want to invest in just a label set. This one has both the dies that match the elements and a good selection of labels. But I'm gonna tell you why I went with a different one. I went with the Tasteful Labels Dies because I love that these dies cut on both, they cut and then they emboss on both the inside and the outside of the die. So that means if you're making a label, your label is going to come through with a cute embossed rim or a cute stitched rim. If you're making a window hole, your window hole is going to come out with a stitched rim or an embossed rim, which is a really cool feature. So this is the one that I used. A word about centering this on here. So you can center it on the tombstone if you want, but I kind of like centering it on the box. So what you can do to easily see, because remember it has that embossing. So I don't want to cut it on the inside because then it'll put my embossed layer on the inside. So I want to cut it on this side. And I found that the easiest way to see where the center was to fold this down and kind of get an idea like left, right here where it was going to go. And then you could even just take a piece of washi tape and just stick this down and then run it through your die cut machine. Remember, you're going to have to do probably 4, 5, 6 times. Once you run it through back and forth, take it out, move it, turn it, just put it in a different spot on the platform. And that's going to help that to kind of power through. Okay. All right. So here is one large box, the larger of the two, that has been die cut. So there's the piece. You're going to save this because how handy is that little element. And then we're going to go ahead and flip this over, and now we can assemble. So to put a window sheet in here though, I made a little cheat sheet for you. The window sheet size for these boxes is let's see, there we go. The window sheet size for this box is 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. So I have one of those cut. I think I tucked it in here actually. You could cut a whole bunch of them and tuck them in. So that is gonna go there. And I'm just going to grab my seal, and you don't even need a ton. Window sheets stick like, I don't know, what's really sticky? Gecko paws? I guess they're not paws on a gecko. Anyway, they stick really well. So all you have to do is just get a little adhesive in there, and you don't have to work too hard at getting them to stick. Then we're going to go ahead and flip this adhesive backing off and fold this around, and it kind of sizes itself because it will loop around that flap there. So you don't have to worry too hard about getting it off to the wrong size. So all right, so I'm gonna flip this one on too. And now we have our larger size box, which is going to be our top. Now, we're gonna do the same thing for the smaller size box, which is going to be my bottom. And the reason that I like to do it that way is, you know what, I have one already put together. I'll just use this one here. Is that I like to be able to put my treats in a small box and then have my big box fit down over the top. If I do it backwards and I put the treats into the large one, then every time I try to put this in, I have to like negotiate around those treats that are maybe stuck to the edge and the lid won't go on. So my hint to you, number 3, is to make your small one the bottom and your big one the top, which I don't know, feels a little bit counterintuitive to me sometimes. So that I would share that hint. Okay, so we have our box. Now we are going to make some cute things to go in it. And it's so hot outside here, so let me let my poor dog in. I think if you didn't hear me before, we had a poor little cardinal fly into our window, and she was a little bit stunned for a while. And so I had to make sure she flew away before I let our dog out this morning. So thanks, Betty. Hi in Oregon. Okay, so our cards. So let's see, I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'll leave this here for a second so you can still see. And we're going to bring in some cardstock pieces that are here. The cardstock mini cards are going to fit inside our box. So this here just gets folded in half. This piece of cardstock is 6 1/2 inches by 2 1/4 inches. Here's a little cheat sheet for that for you. So 6 1/2 by 2 1/4, and that is a fabulous size. Let me get my box apart to fit right in here, just like this. Okay. Now the other thing that fits in here, and it's, where is my example? Oh my gosh, you guys, it's such a mess in here. I've been having so much fun playing with this set. I can't tell you all the stuff. But also what fits in here is a gift card. So you can pop that in just like that. It doesn't fit completely exactly, but it's so close that you definitely can get it in there if you need to. And I kind of like it. I just made the cards a little bit shorter because A, it's a little more efficient on the designer series paper, and then B, it's kind of peeking out there, which I think is kind of cute also. Okay, so we could just put this in here and be done, but we have a lot of fun things to add to this. So let's go ahead and work on some of those. So and fun when you can find Halloween themed gift cards that match your project, right? Okay, so to add to this are some panels. So I have 3 pieces cut from the Cute Halloween Designer Series paper. This stuff here, you can see all my scraps in here. A hint for you on scraps, just stick them back in the bag so that they're easy to find. Morning, Cindy. And so these are cut to just 2 inches by 3 inches, which you know is a perfect size for working with this designer series paper, because basically you can get, these look smaller than 2 by 3. Wait a minute, 2 by, oh, they're not the right size. Okay, well, I'll have to cut some more, no problem. Let me grab my papers here. So I played with some different sizes, and those of course were not the right ones. But that lets me give you a trick here, because you can also, if you're being choosy, you can choose your positioning on these. So I'm gonna cut this to 3 inches, and then you can decide which piece you want here. And I think we're gonna go ahead and take this one, let's see. We're gonna take this one, because I love this bat and the way he sits right in the middle. So cutting to 2 by 3, we're gonna need this one, and cutting here, 2 by 3. Save your little scraps. I'm gonna show you, if you cut little scraps from things, I'm gonna show you how you can save those and use them for your projects. And then this one, I'm gonna grab this little ghost here, and cut him to 2 by 3. Okay, so now we have our papers cut to the right size. You have lots of extras, and if you're looking for a way to kind of get a sampler of the papers, remind me, well, in the video description, you can get the link for my designer series paper share, which includes samples of all of the DSPs in the holiday catalog, plus card bases to match them, which is perfect, and samples of the specialty papers. So there are, I think, 12 different papers in this specialty series, including this black glitter one that you're going to see more of today. Spoiler alert there. Okay, so now we have our cards here, and I'm going to go ahead and just stick this down on the front. These are real simple, and this is a little bit similar to the project that I showed you the other day. Oh my goodness, people. I can't find my other adhesive, that's fine. Seal Plus works great too. So I'm gonna pop these on and make our cards here. So anyway, if you signed up for the paper share, please, and you have not received your PayPal invoice, you signed up before like yesterday. I think I still have a couple from this morning I need to invoice. So don't worry if I haven't gotten you today, but if you signed up before today and you haven't gotten your invoice, you are going to want to send me a message because I need to re-invoice you. Or, well, I didn't get your form. Yay, technology. The link's in the video description. So, okay, so we have our pieces here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add some greetings. The Cute Halloween stamp set has many cute choices, Cutest Halloween. So I'm gonna do one of each. You put a smile on my face, which I think is perfect for this little guy here. I have Hey Boo and Trick or Treat. So I'll just show you I'll show you one. So you put a smile on my face. I'm going to grab, I have a double mounted, and I'm gonna use my Memento ink pad. And I'm gonna show you a trick for this too, because sometimes it's hard with these little pieces to make sure you get everything like straight. And with this particular themed of paper and stamp set, there's no real reason to aim for straight. So, I should say for square corners. So I'm definitely still cutting straight lines, but I've made them a little bit off kilter, which is kind of a fun way to add a little bit of extra theming to your greeting rather than having them be perfect rectangles all the time. So think about that and whether your set matches that kind of theming. And then I'm gonna bring back in a little piece of our paper. So this is the back of the ghost paper, and just this little tiny scrap here, I'm gonna pop underneath here like this. That one's okay, but it actually kind of matches a little too much. I think I have a piece of the ghost paper. Here we go, or the skeleton paper, ghost skeletons. And I'm gonna grab this one instead. So I'm gonna make it about like that and go ahead and trim it. And then this one I'm gonna put underneath here. So it's covering up our tombstone, but that's okay because it's really cute that way. All right, so I'm gonna pop a dimensional in the back. Remember, if you want to, this one would probably be a white dimensional spot, but you have black ones, which can work really nicely for things on dark paper if you're trying to disguise your elements. And let's see, so I've got those two pieces attached, and then I'm just gonna use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid adhesive to go ahead and pop this on here. Okay. Morning, hey Debbie and Marcy. Okay. There we go. So now there's the front of our cute card. And we have two more, and let's see, to decorate these, I'm gonna grab some stars, and these are from the same suite in the July through December book. So, oops, back up the page. They're from the Cute Halloween suite here, which is on pages 50 and 51, and I adore them. They come in colors to match, and you can use them for lots of things. I actually have been using these purple ones with my penguins and the orange ones with the penguins. So lots of different possibilities there, but let's go with orange for this. I'm gonna use my take your pick tool and the slide and stick technique. So slide and stick, and let's just kind of go like that with those two. So real simple. Okay, so here is the little bat version with the little boo paper underneath, and you can see I used Trick or Treat and I cut those sort of funky angles on there. And then I have the ghost card too. And ghost card, I did Hey Boo, which seemed appropriate. And I used that little piece of the that black designer series paper with a speckle on it. That's the bats. So this one ended up going under here. And I used the purple stars here and the black stars here. So there's our three fun cards, but we're gonna stamp some insides, and you're gonna cut those to the same size. So the insides are gonna be 2 by 3 also. And they're just too many cute things in a set to not take advantage of them. So I'm gonna bring back my memento pad and the treat yourself greeting, which I think is pretty clever. And let's see, here's my last one. Pop these on here. So one of the great things about Stampin' Up! Products is that they come in suites where everything is all coordinated. So you always know that you have lots of elements to make a complete project, such as this darling little skeleton. There we go. Let's see, so we'll put him inside there. We have our treat yourself here to go with a bat. So I think for this one, we're gonna do the cute cat. There's also a cute pumpkin to go with. And then these also match the punches, which I'm gonna show you the punch here when we do our outside of our box, because that plain treat box is not finished. Okay, so there's that. If you have a lot of cat lovers that you send cards to, this cat stamp doesn't have to be Halloween for sure. You can use it all year long. And then honestly, my favorite for the ultimate cute is the ghost. And so I'm gonna pop this one on here because who could possibly resist? Oh my gosh, where's the cutest part of it? Aha, here it is. The cutest part of it is this little like ghost with the little ghost hands. Like, oh, aren't they sweet? Okay, so this one's gonna go inside here. which goes like that. This one is gonna go inside here, which magically switched sides. And then this one is going to go in here for our final skeleton card, okay? So you could use this treat box lots of ways. You could put a whole mess of these in here if you wanted to give these as a gift. You could put just one of them in here with your gift card as your gift, like that. You can put candy in here, whatever you like. I think in the catalog they actually show, this is one of my favorite tricks. Get it? Tricks for Halloween, ha ha ha. They actually show these are little treasures. The Hershey's treasure size is absolutely perfect for just a little wrap of designer series paper. It's maybe like 1 inch by, I don't remember, 1 by 3, I think. And so you can wrap those treasures and they fit nicely in that box too. And then actually they put designer series paper around the outside. So we're gonna do our decoration just a little bit differently. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in here. Maybe we'd put some candy underneath there and pop our lid on, clear some of these fun things out of the way, and work on the front of our box. So we're gonna bring in our punch, which I'm going to share some really good tips with you. I'll get rid of those. On how to use the punch. We're gonna bring in our black and white gingham ribbon. We are going to bring in our black glitter paper, which is not your, it's not your regular glitter paper. It's really, really fine. It's pretty soft. And it is like the teeniest glitter ever. So, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and grab a strip here of smoky slate cardstock, which I use for my cards. And I love this, have a fabulous Halloween. So let's go ahead and stamp that. And we're gonna pop that here on our strip of the gray. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have this, we'll mount it. A note for you, if you're newer to photopolymer stamps, when you mount them, just set them down on the table and pick them up with your block. That is the way to get the straightest mount possible. Sometimes if you apply them to the block with your fingers this direction, then you can end up with little crimps in the stamp, little bends that make it not quite stamp straight. So, okay. So there we go, have a fabulous Halloween. I love photopolymer for clean see-through stamping. You can see what you're doing. Now, here's the thing. It's a little bit too wide and we have like competing greetings here on the front because of our greeting here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just leave the idea of the window and the hint of the window, but not like so much window that it's obscuring the front of our cute box, okay? So let's bring in a little piece of designer series paper that is cut just there, and that's gonna fit kind of right over there. But I want our whole greeting, you could leave it wide, lots of times I overlap, but I want our whole greeting to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and take my snips and just trim right there, okay? And now we have a greeting that fits here on the front of our box. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down, and let's see, pop this on here, okay? And then we're going to, you could trim it a little tighter if you wanted, actually, kind of like that. And now we're gonna attach this on the front here because we want to have this not fall off. Now, because there's a window on the inside, you'll be able to see this from the other side when someone opens the box. So we're gonna try and limit our adhesive to the edges. And the multi-purpose liquid glue is great for that. So I'm just gonna put a little on each side here. And this stuff sticks like nobody's business, but you do have to let it dry. So it gives you like a second that you can move stuff around. Don't worry, we're gonna cover this. Which is great because you can adjust, but then you're gonna have to leave it sit for it to really get a good bond. All right, so now, I wanted to show you the punch and the paper. So the punch for this stamp set matches both the paper and the stamp set, which is terrific. So you can use it to punch all of these little guys here, not the skeletons, these 3 guys here, and the paper that is in the package, you can punch pieces from that too. But here's the thing, you reach in and like they're hard to reach, you don't want to waste it, so I'm going to give you a hint. what you want to do is get your piece pretty close. We're going to go with a cat here. And not too close, but pretty close. So you get your piece pretty close, and then you're going to use a Post-it note trick. And Post-it notes, you can use little flags, you can use big pieces, whatever works. But basically you're going to take a Post-it note piece, here's a little flag, and I'm going to pop it on the back of my cat here. So this is basically giving me a handle. So when I go to punch, I can use my handle here to line up our sweet kitty, our cute kitty, wherever it needs to go. Sorry, I know you can't see very well. I'm trying to see from my angle. There we go. And then punch your kitty, okay? So sometimes you can get away with using the same Post-it a couple of times, just depends how much you chop off with your piece. I'm gonna go ahead and take that little Post-it note backing off there in case it shows from the back. Okay, so we have a kitty on here, but now he doesn't show up super well, I feel like. So we're gonna give him a shadow, and we're gonna give him a shadow from a strip of the black glitter paper. Like I said, this is new glitter paper. We haven't had one like this before. It's super fine, which means it goes really well with nice little things. Okay, so we give him a little shadow like this, and look how much he stands out. So here he is alone. Here he is with just a little bit of shadow, okay? So kind of a cute guy there. I'm not gonna put a dimensional between because I want his shadow to be pretty tight to him. And I'm gonna show you another trick with a pumpkin in a second that helps you conserve your black glimmer paper. So I'll give that a second. One thing that multi-purpose liquid glue does really well also is to stick things to glitter paper. You don't have to worry about the things popping off from the sort of plasticky area. Okay, so there's our cat. I feel like he could stand out even more. So I'm gonna bring in our black and white gingham ribbon and go ahead and tie a bow. I'm not gonna pull the center of the bow really tight. I'm gonna leave it kind of loose so that it can be flattened, okay? Because we're gonna use this we're gonna use a cat as the center of our bow, okay? Kind of like that. And he is going to fit on our project just like that, okay? So again, multi-purpose liquid glue is great for this. So we're gonna pop our bow on there. I'm gonna flip it over one more time, and I'm gonna pop some more glue on the ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and set this here, and I'm gonna put a block on top of it just to give it the best possible time to bond, okay? Let's see, get it in the center. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna let that go. Now, I really like the idea of using this black glimmer paper at least one more place on here because I wanted to repeat an element. Oh, I should show you before. Okay, I promised to tell you how to save this. So if you're just doing elements where you think, does this work? Okay, this one I can punch without pulling it out. So I'll punch it real fast. So I'm gonna grab this little pumpkin here for my demonstration purposes. And if you are putting just a shadow on, you could of course punch a whole pumpkin and pop it on like that. But you don't actually have to use a whole piece because if you're trying to make the most of your paper, I might like just punch a half of a pumpkin. So like this. So I'm gonna get the stem, but I don't really need that part because it would be behind the pumpkin anyway. So then you can pop that on like that and you've saved, a smidge of your paper. But if you're coming down to the last end on your pieces, that might be a good save for you. So think about saving some extra little scraps like that. Okay, but I wanted to add a scrap to this and I decided, let's see, is this good? Probably pretty close, to add a little tiny strip here at the bottom. And so I would go ahead and use the multi-purpose liquid glue and attach this, and then you can just trim at the edges. And I made it right up at the edge because one of these things that these boxes do really nicely is stand up, kind of like this. So I wanted to make sure I didn't overlap it to make it kind of a floppy box. So, all right, let's get the one here that I have dry. And we'll go ahead and pop this on, and it already has its little strip there, okay? So some really fun ideas for these, and of course you could use any of your other little treat pieces in there. You could of course use your black Stampin' Dimensionals for elements if you want to put a Stampin' Dimensional under the kitty instead of just the glue. It's a little bit faster stick. And that works really well. But think about tricks that I've showed you for your window sheets. The Tasteful Label Dies are wonderful for those. The different pieces from the Halloween suites. And I think I have some cards to show you using the stamp set too, or using some of the Halloween pieces. So here is one that I made for a card swap. I think I showed you this card the other day in our catalog tour, and the link for the catalog tour is in the video description if you want to check that. But you can see that I used sorry, let me get the glue off of there. You can see that I used the background pieces with the candy corn and the little faces and the little spiders and stuff. So, and then that 3-strip design that I do love so much. This is a card by Julie Davison with a really simple window in the front, and she used that bat paper that I absolutely love. Here's one with the Clever Cats by Susan Elise Mortensen. So she went ahead and fussy cut the cat, and she used that border set. It's like the last set in the holiday, the July through December mini catalog. So kind of a fun way to show that off. And actually here, I'll show you kind of how she did this. So she fussy cut the edge, actually, die cut probably. There's a die that matches that, the edge there, and then had this panel flip on the front. That was really cool. And then here is another card. This is by Amy Nicely, another demonstrator in my LovenStamps group, and she had the spider web that I wanted to use today. This little label I think is included with this spider web set. So that's the Frightfully Cute set. So lots of great ideas for Halloween. And Marcy said that these would make great coworker gifts. Yes. Great coworker gifts, great teacher gifts, all kinds of like fun things for these. Anybody like bus drivers, as we think about heading into back to school, lots of good possibilities for these. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in for our Maker Mornings with Meg this morning. I will be back next week with another Maker Mornings with Meg for you. We are not going to be here on Monday. We are going to, so I'll be back on Wednesday next week, and then again on Friday. So lots of fun things to share. So if you are at a loss for ideas, go back, watch the catalog tour that's linked in the video description. So I had so many ideas there. And remember that if you turned in a request for the designer series paper share with the card bases and the specialty papers, I may not have received it. So if you haven't received your PayPal invoice, I'm always happy for you to check in and see what, just check in on things. So send me a request again, just an email or a Facebook message or whatever works for you, because I maybe didn't get your form due to some technical difficulties. So let's see. And Carol says turkey for Thanksgiving to replace pumpkins. Yeah. Lots of good possibilities for these. And the treat boxes are, of course, let's see. Here's the one that I shared the other day with the penguins, pumpkins, penguins, they all start with P. This one had little note cards in it too. So this video tutorial is, I think, number 173, if you're still looking for this guy. So, all right, guys, have a super fabulous weekend, and I will look forward to seeing you next week on Wednesday. So happy stamping.